Hey friends, this is Waylon. Welcome everyone. Welcome Instagram. Welcome Facebook over here. I apologize for my hair, or maybe I should celebrate it. It's doing the wave. So I wave to you. I wanted to talk today about a lesson that we do in Elephant Academy, which is Elephant Journal's online learning platform. It's our online school. Thank you, Adriana. Love to everyone, and please say where in the world you are, maybe how you're doing. What I wanted to talk about today is I just came across, or actually a friend came across, a thread on the internets about how Waylon, I'm the founder of Elephant Journal, am like a sort of awful, egotistical, maybe slightly evil person because I haven't really read the thread, but it's about how ridiculous it is that I quote myself. And it just reminded me of our fundamental lesson in Elephant Academy, which is about finding your voice and then sharing it to be of benefit, giving away your voice. So you own your voice, you find your voice, you own your voice, and then you give it away to be of benefit. So is it wrong? Please let me know in comments. Is it wrong to quote yourself? Now, my response to that, and I don't want to, I'm open to any kind of disagreement from any of you, but my response to that is I'm a writer. That's what I do. I write words and then I share them, in which case they are in quotes, especially if they're from a book. And usually those darn quotes of mine are about hopefully helpful things. It's not like I'm a genius. I learned a lot of helpful things from my mom, who raised me with love and care, single mom. I learned a lot of amazing things from Buddhism about meditation and breathing through, and not avoiding negativity, not avoiding compassion and empathy. We tend to want to close our hearts when life is challenging, but we can actually, through being brave enough to feel messy or feel vulnerable or feel raw, which is really hard. It's easy to talk about, but it's something we can practice. We can stay open and relax and actually be helpful to other folks by being kind to ourselves, which is what we call Maitri in the Buddhist tradition, or metta, or loving kindness. And it's kind of like self-care, but it's a sort of profound and basic level of self-care. It goes beyond Epsom salts and bathtubs, which I'm a big fan of bathtubs, no diss. So I guess my point in using my example is not to be self-righteous or defend myself. My point is, I'm a writer, somewhat successful writer. I've written a book that continues to sell well. My second book is coming out now. I started Elephant Journal, which reaches many millions of folks a month for many, many years through our amazing writers and community. And I'm still getting criticized for, sharing my voice. I can only imagine how it is for those of us who find our voice and struggle with the fear about owning our voice when the whole world is telling us to shut up. When I was a kid, Marianne Williamson's quote about, "Who are you to tell me to be small? Being small doesn't help anyone. Celebrate yourself." Like Walt Whitman said, celebrate this life and who you are. Now, it's one thing to be arrogant, but I think arrogance is a cousin, as I like to quote myself, of insecurity. And insecurity is not an evil thing or a bad thing. We need to have Maitri or metta about our own insecurity. So I'm not here to condemn insecurity. That would be counterproductive. But when we're insecure and we double down on that, we try to hide it and we try to push away any fear or push away any insecurity, we become arrogant, right? We become kind of closed and hard, and our hearts are kind of not, our hearts can't connect with anyone. And we, in trying to not feel insecure, we close ourselves off to sadness, but also to joy. And we all know all of this stuff, but it's actually true. Some of these cliches are cliches because they're true. So how do we get over the fear of owning our voice? Well, to me, it's twofold. Number one, we shouldn't own our arrogance. We shouldn't double down on our arrogance. Owning our voice is a somewhat arrogant statement, but it's not arrogant if we first find our genuine voice, if we find our sweetness, our kindness, our empathy, our broken heart, if we find our genuineness, both good and bad experience, and we feel our heart, and then we express that. So that's what we do in Elephant Academy's Write Your Heart Out course, which is coming up. elephantjournal.com/write your heart out. elephantjournal.com/write your heart out. elephantjournal.com/academy. So we actually practice connecting with our genuine experience and then sharing that. And that magical thing called catharsis or alchemy happens. Those are fancy words for just, we're finally showing up for ourselves, which is such a kind of rare thing sometimes. Instead of busying ourselves with entertainment or distraction or whatever it is, we actually dare to feel our own experience. And then when we share it with others, not with an intention to show off, my suffering is worse than yours, but with an intention to be a benefit, we transform our kind of suffering into awareness and into being helpful to others. So when others say, oh, wow, you've gone through the same thing. You've been lonely. You've been discouraged. You've been lost. We realize being lost or being awkward or whatever it is isn't a bad thing. Literally, people condemn us or think we're weak for being confused or lost or heartbroken or whatever, depressed, whatever it is. But when we make friends with our own feelings, and they don't all have to be negative feelings, they can be celebratory. When we make friends with our own experience, then we show others that they don't need to be ashamed of theirs. And that is a benefit. And that is finding your voice, owning your voice, having the courage or the daring to celebrate your voice, and then sharing it and giving it away. It's kind of like privilege. We all have the privilege of having our voice in here. We all have the privilege of having our experiences, good and bad, because we're alive. That is a privilege, being alive, however hard it is. And it can be brutal, as we're seeing constantly in the news for so many of us. But even those of us who outwardly are doing well, while we have much more privilege, we're hopefully safe, we're hopefully healthy, we still need to acknowledge that privilege, own that privilege of finding our voice, and then give it away, share it. We don't need to own it forever. So none of this is me saying this particularly. These are Buddhist teachings. These are life experiences that many of us have had. So any of us that any of this that you feel like you're connecting with, that's not mine. Even if I write it and I put the words together and I quote it, I have learned from my mentors, and I've learned from my family, and I've learned from my friends, and I've learned from my enemies, and I've learned from my ups, and I've learned from my downs. And same with you, right? We learn from the good and we learn from the bad. I just wrote something and I put it in quotes. I'm sorry. Or maybe I didn't, but anyway, I wrote it and I said something like, when things are good, you use that to celebrate, to mentor others, to relax, to breathe. When things are bad, you use that to be kind to yourself, to soften, to let go of your arrogance. Like when I have hard times, it helps me be soft enough that I don't buy into my own arrogance. And then I can be, frankly, happier in my life because I'm actually naked. My heart is open and I'm not just shielding myself from the good and the bad and deadening my experience. So I hope some of this has been helpful, but I wanted to talk about how to own your voice when others don't want you to. People who are insecure and double down on that insecurity in the wrong direction, like Donald, we tend to buy into arrogance and aggression and being mean to other people. And so if online trolls, as I began this video, are making fun of me for writing and putting my stuff in quotes, I mean, my response to that is I'm a writer. I work with words and I work with sharing my experience, hopefully in a helpful way. And I'm not going to apologize for that. It's like telling a visual artist, not to display their art in a gallery or a cafe. Um, Art is what we do. Craft is what we do. Your work, your love for your family, whatever it is that we do is what we do. And we don't have to apologize for that as long as it's meant to be helpful and kind. And as long as hopefully it's genuine. And if we're jerks, then I apologize for that. I'm happy to apologize. I think the whole online romance with being unapologetic is a little overstated. I am apologetic, and that's part of being an adult when I mess up, which is regularly. But I'm not going to apologize for writing words when I'm a writer. So again, how do we get over the fear of owning our voice? I think on some level, it's hard. It takes us sitting up, taking good breath, and in the Buddhist tradition, we have various practices that apply, but any of us can practice meditation. Any of us can, we have meditation instruction on Elephant Journal. Any of you can join Elephant Academy. Our Write Your Heart Out course is coming up fast. elephantjournal.com/write your heart out. Usually around 100 or more people join. It's the best thing we get to do. And it's not easy, it's hard. This life is hard and it's confusing, but we can keep it simple by just being genuine, by being grounded, by daring to be who we are and to share that and hopefully to be of benefit. So thank you so much. I will look at comments real quick if you have any. Let me see if I can find them on Facebook. We're on 2 platforms right here. Okay, here's comments. Thank you very much for this conversation from Saskatchewan. As a mental health counselor, I'm tasked daily with the responsibility to help my clients find and feel ownership of their own voice, truths, fear, etc., and to be able to understand they have the right to express themselves, to be heard, without fear of rejection or violence. As human beings, we are given voice, whether it be verbal, written, artistic, or other forms of speaking out to be heard. I'll be sharing your wisdom. I mean, I'm glad to just have shared your experience and your wisdom. And it's a great point. I mean, it gets to the point where people are violent to try to suppress other people's voices. We see that with various movements for equality. People dare to demand and to ask for equality, equity, justice. And so many people view that as threatening. Now, violence on any side is generally not helpful, right? That goes counterproductive to our be of benefit mission in our life, to be of benefit. But everyone deserves equality. Everyone deserves to be able to share their voice and the opportunity to find it. And that doesn't have to be in an Elephant Academy course. That can be just daring to listen to and feel your own experience. Assertiveness, not conflict, from Shuin. Yeah, I mean, that applies to, I have a dear dog over here who's injured right now, Redford. It's getting old, but, as a parent or a dog parent, you have to be assertive sometimes. You don't want to have them run across the road or whatever it is, but you never want to have that assertiveness. You want that assertiveness to be calm and grounded, not conflictinating or angry. Cosmo. Come on, Waylon, I'm rooting for you. The cures for the mind in the heart are the sound, awe, and the affirmation I exist. Be yourself is a cure. 2, I connect us to our heart. The universe says, follow your heart, enjoy life. Let's dance. Amen. So yeah, there's that quote from Marianne Williamson, the quote of the day about our deepest fear. I love that. If you haven't read that, please, you can go to facebook.com/elephant journal, where this video is also live, and you can read that quote in the comments. Yeah, there's some other comments here, and then I'll go through Instagram. Wow, people are so mean. Exactly. People, it's like drama, which we all buy into, is such a waste of our energy. It's such a weird way to give meaning to our own selves. Instead, let's give meaning to ourselves through being kind and through being kind to ourselves. All right, Instagram, folks. My pup is not doing great. He's got an injured shoulder. We are taking care of him, but he's 14 and something's not working with his shoulder, so he's limping around, and it's been pretty painful sometimes. He is sleeping very well right now. Any Instagram comments? I'm going through. I see a few, but I've been blabbing forever. Shine on, brother. Deep thanks. Back to you. I appreciate you. Back to you, Shelly. Aw. Will this be saved? Yes, it'll be on our Instagram. It'll be on our YouTube. Here's a great comment. Cycle Michelle. Only a true fool makes no mistakes. Yeah, we have to dare to get out there, and we will make mistakes often, and it is important to apologize for that and to own that as well. Yeah, someone says I'm giving proper credit to the author. Yeah, I mean, criticizing. Hey, Anders, buddy. Yeah, criticizing a writer for writing is a new one, and I get it a lot. I get that people want to like take me down and take other people down and take themselves down on some level. It's just, I'm not perfect, and people get irritated by me, and I apologize for that. Soldier on from Bipolar Beauties. Big love to your father and to you and to your family. I'm so sorry to hear that, and big love from all of us. And thank you for sharing. To Zenny, no apology necessary. Yeah, we don't need to apologize for finding our voice, owning it, or sharing it, but we can apologize for mistakes. Yeah, I think it's good to don't listen to the news, but find good journalism, find good, non-hateful, factual journalism. It's good to not avoid too much. From Honeybee and me, it often takes time to feel safe to be witnessed, powerful, and time to feel safe just sharing our own voice with ourselves. I have to have that courage running a business. It's very hard because I work with amazing people. They disagree with me sometimes about strategy or going forward. Honeybee, yeah, you've seen elephant in the magazine stores. There is a different elephant in magazine stores, but we did used to be a magazine many years ago, more than 10 years ago. From Madeline, it seems we are not allowed to share anymore in this new generation. I hear a lot of complaints from my 12-year-old grandson when I try to express and teach him things. Yeah, there's a kind of arrogance and speediness, right? We're too busy for just about anything except for our phones. All right, social media limits just went up. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Darkology, that's the quote I was talking about. I love that. Spot on. Transparency and vulnerability from Bipolar are services to our world through that bravery and strength. Amen. One of my favorite emojis is the broken heart emoji. Just having a cracked open heart. It's tough, but it's good. And that doesn't mean we have to be, drown in our sadness, but we can dare to feel it. Could I take the quotes off? Yeah, I mean, I often write without quotes, obviously, but when we share them in social media, they're often quoted, and I think that's where people get irritated. But when I'm just writing a caption or something, I'm not quoting myself in that way. But when it's an image quote, it often has quotes. Quote away, you keep me focused. Thank you. I think it is our responsibility to share our words and lessons. Amen. It's our responsibility to own the privilege of finding our voice and sharing that to hopefully, again, to be of benefit. Great comments. Bipolar, you got to write on elephant. No, it's not wrong. It's beautiful and refreshing from San Vitesse. Thank you. Exactly. You're a writer from someone. Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, so many comments. I'm just scrolling. Lots of comments about my crazy hair. Don't blame you. All right. I think we're going to wrap up. But thank you so much. Please join us in Elephant Academy. It's the best thing we get to do. elephantjournal.com/write your heart out, if so inspired. I'll see if there's a few more Facebook comments, but I think we're good. I can't see. All right. Thank you so much, folks. We'll keep doing these videos if they're helpful. If they are, please like them or share them or do whatever you feel like. Encourage Elephant in some way, because we're independent media and we need your participation to keep going, basically. So a little encouragement: if you're not going to join Elephant Academy, get our free newsletter, and you actually have to open it up or we'll automatically unsubscribe you, just because we don't want to spam anyone. That free newsletter is at elephantjournal.com/best. And thank you for all the hearts on Instagram. Thank you, Facebookers. Big love. And this will be on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Good luck out there and in there.